Good morning. Just thought I'd start here. Some of the flood water from the storm yesterday. Quite an entertaining event. I've actually returned to a location that I haven't been for a while, but I've decided to stay out of the sort of proper woodland because it's a bit iffy at the moment. So if I turn you around, excuse the wobbling, no tripod today. I'm going into here, right on the edge of this lane. As you might be able to see, I've got the car parked up on the top corner there. But, let's go in here and have a wander. This bit I'm walking at the moment, it's actually an old railway line, hence the bridge up there. That's the road where I came in, and I'm sort of parked on the top right hand corner there. This was one of the branch lines that got axed in the, was it early 60s, when the Beechings, Dr. Beeching, made all these cuts and got rid of the little lines. It branches off the main London to the coastline at a little village called Crowhurst, and it went through here down to our neighbouring town of Bexhill-on-Sea. Obviously very popular in sort of Victorian times, and with their sudden passion for coming to the coast for your health, but you know, it was never a busy line, so it got the chop. But you can walk it all as a footpath right down to Bexhill. Sadly, about another mile that way, there used to be a massive viaduct going across one of the floodplains, which they blew up with dynamite. But yeah, that's all gone. But shame that couldn't stay. But right next to it is this little patch of woodland, which was a sandstone quarry. It's now like a little nature park. I believe it's owned by the local council, the parish council of the village, because I'm probably 2 miles, maybe 3 miles outside of Hastings where I live. I just thought it would be interesting to come in here for a bit of a change. Now, I've always found this an interesting thing, a little cave, I suppose you'd call it. It's completely man-made as far as I can tell. It's been dug out. It's not very big. You could, well, I'll probably get 3 of you in there, put it that way. Up at the top edge of the cliff there. And if you scramble in there, which I'm not going to do today, it'll be bloody horrible in there, mucky and wet. There's a hole at the back, almost like a chimney. And if you stand up in it, it is just about shoulder width. Your head pops out above ground level, and it's overlooking this bridge. Now, I have a theory. There was a lot of Home Guard and auxiliary units in this area, because obviously if we'd got invaded World War II, this would have been front line. And I wonder whether there was people stationed here, and in case of invasion they would blow that bridge, because it would, two purposes, you know, it would put the railway line out of action, and also one of the roads inland. There was plans to blow a lot of the local bridges and sort of turn Hastings into an island. So if the Germans had landed, it would have just slowed them up a bit. Wouldn't have stopped them, but it would have slowed them up a bit. So yeah, that's my theory on that cave. I think it might have been Second World War auxiliary stuff as an observation point for the bridge and the railway line. Let's wander around a bit further in the quarry. This is the deepest part of the quarry here. Big, steep, sheer walls, probably 100 feet, something like that. As you can see, where it's exposed there, it's all good sandstone. A lot of the buildings around here are sandstone, because hey, it was the most convenient it was readily right to hand, you know. A mucky old pond in this low spot now. But I suppose it made sense, you know, quarrying here, and literally just through the trees there was the railway line. So I don't know whether they shifted the stone by rail, but it would certainly make sense. It's not a very big piece of woodland, this, because it is sort of trapped between the quarry wall and the lane on the left. So it's not very wide, but it's a nice spot. Now, there's something interesting over there. Let's go and have a look. A fungi dome. I remember them first building this. It's probably around the last time I came here, actually, and it was quite densely packed. A lot of the stuff in the middle has rotted away now, but it's doing what it's designed to do: encourage fungal growth, and probably home for an awful lot of insects that you can't see. Makes good use of fallen timber, bring a bit of extra sort of wildlife into the area. I think I'll pick up one of the paths and wander further along. Well, there's not much left of the poor old bench. A bit of maintenance needed there. It was actually quite a nice spot to sit. I've had my lunch there a few times, because it's looking along the water there towards the back of the quarry. It was a lovely place for sitting, and especially watching the birds. Nice little spot to sit there quietly looking along. But it doesn't look like anyone does much maintenance in here now. It used to be quite well kept. The bench was in good order, and underneath it there was a plastic tub, and inside that was a visitor's book and a pen that you could write your thoughts and the date and whatever, but that's all long gone, sadly. I'll go on up through there a little bit further, although the park sort of officially finishes just up there a little bit. One of the little group seating areas. I do think the local cubs and brownies come here, so it might be a little area they use. And I actually made a video in here years ago. If I can find it, I will put a link at the top of the screen. A lot of it I was sitting here making something to eat and having a chat, a bit about the history and so on. So yeah, I'll link it top of the screen if I can find it. And here's the top edge. Obviously the boundary fence, private, the other side of that. Quite who actually owns it, I don't know, because I say it's the old railway line. It might have been bought up by someone, I don't know. You can keep walking. There's no one here to say otherwise, to be fair. You're in the middle of nowhere. You can see the footpath going up through there. Plenty of people do it. If you keep walking, you can go for about another mile and you end up in sort of in the village of Crowhurst, and where it joins the main line, because we're back on the railway. Well, yeah, just a little oasis of woodland on the edge of town. Very handy for the local people of the village. Somewhere to escape to. It's a nice little spot. Right, back to where we started. It's bloody wind's getting up again. Here's the entrance gate where I came in. Dash across the road before the traffic. That's across the valley valley. I hope you can hear me, but it's wind. The other side of that ridge is Beck's Hill, where the rail line finished. Yes, it was nice coming back to there. Let's walk back to the car and bugger off home. I can feel a bacon sandwich coming.